Willa is freaking out. Lately, it seems she's seeing things, like a dead body in her swimming pool. Frantic scribbled messages on her walls, a reflection that is not her own. It's almost as if someone or something is trying to send her a message. Meanwhile, a killer is stalking Los Angeles, a killer who reenacts famous movie murder scenes with his victims. Pretty teenage girls. Oh, pretty teenage girls. Could Willa's strange visions have to do with things involved unsolved murders? And who can she infilled in? I don't know what that means. There's Marnie, her new best friend, who may not be totally trustworthy, and there's Reed, who's ridiculously handsome and seems to get Willa. There's also Wyatt, who is super smart but unhealthy, obsessed with the Hollywood killer. All Willa knows is she has to confront the possible ghost in her house, or she might just lose her mind. And if she doesn't untangle the mystery of the Hollywood killer, she might just lose her life. Hey guys, Mike42 here, and today, if you knew what I was reading, sorry, I didn't really get most of the words. Today we are going to be reading Famous Last Words. Oh my god! And if you don't know what the book is about, well, I just read it to you. So technically it's about a teenage girl named Willa, and, you know, she moved, and, like, oh my god. That's the person from The Ring, isn't it? Anyway, it's by Katie Allender, and it's a book about serial killers. And it's pretty good. Miss Harmon, my librarian at the Nea County Middle School, showed me this book. And I was like, ooh, well, thank you. And this girl named Rebecca Dana, she said, she gave me a warning. She was like, this book is so good, you would just stop non-stop reading it. Like, you know, for example, oh, Becca, it's your fine, but this book is so good. That's technically what her warning was. So let's start now, shall we? I started the book a little bit early, so sorry. Oh, for Kevin, Jillian, and Robert, whom I love and admire for their strength and resilience. I don't know. Anyway, Chapter 1. Nothing littered. I never been to Hollywood before, but let's start that again. Nothing littered. I never been to Hollywood before, but like any other person with eyeballs and eyeballs and a television, I'd seen it 1,000 times. I expected wide palm tree lined roads and mansions that overflowed with fabulous movie stars. What I got was a normal city, except the sky was pale brown and the freeways went on forever in every direction. The houses crept up the sides of distant mountains like a fungus. Nobody looked particularly fabulous, especially not the roving bands of tourists taking pictures of every street sign, sidewalk, and tree. I felt a little cheated, to be honest. There's Hollywood Boulevard, my new stepfather Jonathan said. That's where you'll find the Walk of Fame in the Chinese theater. We should go there tomorrow. Party foul. Tomorrow's party foul. Sorry. Party foul. Tomorrow's Monday, I said. I start school. Oh, right. He was quiet for a second. Well, there's nothing special. Just a bunch of old footprints and handprints. Movie stars had tiny feet. Even the men, right? My mother piped up. I think I read that somewhere. I didn't reply. Not speaking when I had nothing to say had become a bit of a habit for me. Look, Willa, the Hollywood sign, right through those buildings. Mom nose was particularly pressed against the glass, and her voice as add the chirpy cheer. Sorry if I cannot pronounce words correctly, okay? Been a while since I last read. Not true. Chirpy cheerfulness of a preschooler teacher. I squinted to see the line of writing on a far-off hillside. Oh, yeah, I said. Cool. Are you alright? She studied me, concealing her anxiety beneath a thin veneer of calm. Do you have a headache? I wish you have a headache, Jonathan asked. My mother clammed her mouth shut. I'm good, Mom, I said, as exciting as it was to ride from the airport to our new house in a stretched limo. The limitation of this mode of transportation were tragically apparent. I sat on the front bench, facing backward with Mom and Jonathan, and on the forward-facing bench looking directly at me. It was like being in a fishbowl. Give me the backseat of our old Camry anytime, at least there was relative privacy. But there was no more Camry. No more old anything. My new stepfather was rich, which meant Mom and I were rich too, unless I messed everything up. No, I already destroyed our lives once. It wasn't going to happen again. If we had to leave, what would we go back to? Joffrey Connect. Sorry about that, my mother interrupted. Okay, if we had to leave, what would we go back to? Joffrey, Connecticut? A town where we no longer belonged. No house, no job, no car, no friends. Me! This new life in California was the end of our line for us. It was going to work out because, well, it had to. What? Will you pause it? Another eruption from my mother. We followed a series of labyrinthine, I cannot pronounce that word, please help me, streets to 2121 Sunbird Lane. There was a little hiccup in my heart as our new home came into view. Jonathan always referred to it as simply the house, but apparently we had a pretty warped idea of what a house was, because this was obviously a full-on mansion. It was separated from the road by a tall privacy hedge and a metal spiked fence. The front yard was huge and perfect, with freshly mowed grass and a fountain in the center. Ooh, I want that bitch. Oh god, excuse me. I stood in the driveway looking around while Jonathan and the Joffrey. That's like the person who drives the car. You know, there's the maid, the butler, and then that person, the one who drives the car. I cannot pronounce that, so forgive me. Got our bags out of the car. The house. Parentheses. There, see it. I was doing it again. Okay, when I do this, that means parentheses. When I do this, that means, you know, like lies or the truth. You know, like the quotes. It was an elegant old Spanish style with crisp white stucco walls and a red clay tile roof. Its beauty was simple, unadorned, and expensive looking. I want it. Willa, Mom called. You coming? With a start, I realized that they were waiting for me on the front porch. Me! Jonathan unlocked the deadbolt. The door. Oh, he's saying it. Never mind. The door's original, he said, sounding proud, as if a plank of wood lasting almost 100 years was somehow a credit to human ingenuity and not you know, trees. For a minute, I thought it was 1 hour. Like, oh, fuck. Inside the house was... Sorry. Inside the house was cool and open. Pale sunlight streamed in, reflecting off the cream-colored walls and gleaming hard wooden floors. Overhead, heavy iron... Sorry, I was going to say iron chandelier when I skipped heavy. Overhead, a heavy iron chandelier was chained to the wall from 3 sides like a wild animal. A set of stairs curved gracefully toward the 2nd story. My mother spun in a circle, taking in all the details. "It's gorgeous, Jonathan. When was it built?" 1933, he said, for an actress named Diana Delmar. "Really?" Mom said. "We love her movies. Willa, remember those old musicals we used to watch at Grandma's house?" A vague memory bubbled to back of my mind. Kaleidoscope. I cannot pronounce that much. Auras of dancing girls with fluffy skirts and huge headdresses. Oh God, kill me. Armies of bright-eyed young women cheerfully marching around in tap shoes. I would die. "Sure," I said. "She was big in the 30s, and then she had a string of flops. She got a reputation as box office poisoning and retired." Jonathan sounded a little apologetic, like he wished he could give us a better movie star. "Amazing!" Mom ran her hand over the banister. "Just think of all these balls have seen and heard. People have probably died here," I said. Mom winced a little, then tried to laugh. "Oh, Will, sorry. Oh, Willa." What?
Don't wet me.
Another mother rocked in. Here we go. "People have probably died here," I said. Mom winced a little, then tried to laugh. "Oh, Willa." But Jonathan nodded. "I'm pretty sure Diana Delamar did die here. I don't know the exact story of when or how, though." "We could look it up online," Mom said. Her frantic agreeableness made my brain itch. "Or we could ask her ghost," Jonathan said, winking at me like we had an inside joke. I turned away, a chill passing up my spine. Does he know? He can't possibly. Okay, this last paragraph and then we have to go. My mother wandered a little farther into the foyer, and I wondered if she felt as out of place as I did, or even more so. After all, I still got to be a relatively normal teenager.
I have a question for you.
Yeah? Another eruption. Or even more so. After all, I still got to be a relatively normal teenager. For her, this house represents a whole new identity as the glamorous wife of a famous Hollywood film director. We're on page 5, and I will cheat and read ahead of you guys. So anyway, I hope you guys like the book so far. You can buy it yourself. It's actually I think it's like near, I don't know like where you are, but it's actually a pretty good book. I hope you guys like it, and please leave a like down there and forget to subscribe and hashtag touch yourself tonight.